Hey team, it's Ripper here. Hope you guys are doing fantastic today. Got a revisit and maybe a double review or a review 2.0 of the Dalarna, which is the super ship of the European line. And yes, as we're doing some kind of super ship frenzy right now. But before we begin, thank you guys for all those who supported the channel. Like, subscribe, bell button below. Appreciate all those who have gotten the channel where it is. We're on our way to 1,200 subscribers. Ultimate goal right now for the current, I would say, period is 2,000. And at 2,000, we're going to give away a Destroyer Premium giveaway, and it's fitting since we're the DD main. I feel like it's great to give back something that we can do to brighten your day. I give you a Premium DD, or if you already have that DD or whatever's in that Premium shop, you can get doubloons or something out of it, hopefully as well. But let's get right to it. Again, I couldn't thank you guys enough for all the support, the kind words, and helping to build the community about sailing ships, shooting ships, and learning something from it. And this is a great channel to vent out everything and learn about something new, learn tactics, as you can see right here. This is just random gameplay with Tier 11 Dalarna, and let's get to the action right here. Lately, I've been trying more of a passive role where I've noticed I've survived a lot longer, and I think the role of a DD is everything, so you have to survive the onslaught of the entire match. And that means you're going to have to play a little bit less aggressive. I think gone are the days of full-up gunboating where you just charge a cap and you just duke it out one-on-one versus a DD. But look at the DD makeup nowadays. You're having CVs and submarines taking up some of that real estate space. And you only got 2 destroyers in the game now. So that means that if you lose one, you're down to 50%. And I've always said that if you lose your destroyers, you lose the match. I mean, that majority of the time, you look at the statistics, the majority of game matches are usually decided when you see who's got the most DDs left in the match. So I have to agree that as a destroyer player, you're going to have to survive literally the endurance of the match because you have the least amount of HP. You're always being radared. You have the ability to be spotted by obviously carriers all the time and then just be harassed. And there we get some nice torpedo hits right off the bat. And being harassed immediately off the bat means that you're susceptible to enemy fire. Everybody guns for you because they know that, hey, the destroyer is the most powerful thing in the game. So what do people aim for? They aim for the destroyer right off the bat. They get focus fired. And the majority of your team, I've noticed, I'm going to have to show you guys a lot. Look at the match. Look, for example, right now. Where are my ships in support? They're all bundled up at Alpha behind islands, and also they're all bundled up at E8 right there. And where's my support? And I've noticed that, again, this is, I don't understand why this happens, but after communicating and talking, people still like to go do their own thing. They don't think this is a team player game. And I'm trying to make it more of a communication, get out of your comfort zone, get out of your shell, and start talking and be a little bit more teamwork oriented. This is not like a Call of Duty where you just run and gunning and just do your own thing. You actually have to work together because this moves at the speed of smell. I mean, you notice ships don't run around, jump at Call of Duty style. They actually move around, maneuver just like an organism would, and it's slow, methodical, and you actually have to use communication skills to actually win a match. So, that's one of the gripes I've had about it. So I want to encourage that. And slowly the matches progresses, people start talking and communicating, get comfortable with each other, just like any icebreaker at any meeting, right? So that's what I've noticed that actually works. You just got to, and so as a destroyer player, knowing that, you got to be a little bit patient and stand off. Now look at these torpedoes right here, 15-kilometer range torpedoes. And do we get a couple hits right there, long range of the GK? And we do. We actually get one and a flooding. So did that flooding take? Nope, he damaged cons right away. So one cool thing about the Dalarna, it still has the 15-kilometer kind of style torpedoes that the Holland brings, and it's really cool. I like the fact that it's still 10 torpedo tubes, so you got 5 and 5. That's a really good aspect of it. They're not as fast as the Holland. You can build for it that way, but I chose not to build it. They're still fast. They're still 80-plus knots, so... And, ooh, we take a nice dodge right there. And again, man, that would have been a lucky shot. So I know there's a Shimakaze in the area, so I'm going to have to basically play a little standoff conservative. He outspots me. We're building a concealment build here, 6.1, which is great for what we're doing, and it's more of, you notice the gun build, it's a DD main gun build. We're just focusing on max fire rate, max DPM, and we're just going to be conservative, sit here, let the Shimakaze come to us, because I know I outgun them. So we're going to sit right here, cap, just be patient, let our team come back, reassess, look where we're at. Hey, look, I'm a DD, I'm doing my job. Will the other players come and help me at all, or are they just going to ignore me? So that's something you got to be very, very cautious about. So we cap this. Oh, wait, he pops back in. So wait, hold on. Let's use this island cover to block from any other torpedoes. So watch the tactics I'm doing. I'm using island cover to defend me against torpedoes from the Yamagiri, actually. Sorry, Yamagiri is a tier 11, my counterpart. That's a tier 11 Shimakaze, in my opinion. I did a review on it. Check it out. But we are not the Yamagiri today. We are outgunning him. We have a lot of firepower right here. We're going to go ahead and keep firing as much as we can. The DPM reload rate is about 2.2 seconds in each gun, the way we build it here. And do I get any help from my team to spot this Yamagiri? I guess not. So, hey, we took at least a lot of damage for him, knowing he doesn't have any heals. We took a majority of the damage off, so we're going to hold back right here. He resetted our cap, and we're going to go ahead and slowly wait 43 seconds to cap. A couple of things I like about the Dalarna, the gun reload. The gun reload is awesome. It's exactly what I was hoping for, a Holland with an extra set of guns. That's what you have, a Holland with 3 sets of guns rather than 2. Torpedoes, already talked about. They're there. They're fast. They're quick. You also have the option of switching to shorter range torpedoes, which are a lot faster, a lot better detection, a little bit more damage, but they don't go as far. So you have the option between that. I like the 15-kilometer ones because I like to reach out and touch somebody rather than having to drive in towards somebody with radar or exposing my ship to something closer. So I like the longer range. The engine boost is standard. Heals are great. They're just like, Holland heals. And then, of course, defensive A, but AA is trash in this game, so who cares? But really, I want to focus on is the guns. And the title of this video is Revisiting the Dalarna, because I've noticed players have been trying it out a little bit more lately, and something has changed about it, which makes it a little bit more viable. Because before, when it first released, they nerfed the gun reload. I thought it would have the most DPM in the game, which it does anymore. That crown is still held by the Marceau. The other one is it might be either the characteristics of the maneuverability, or maybe just the game RNG just makes it harder to hit. Because back in the day when we first got the Dalarna, it was such an easy thing to hit. I mean, look at the size of the thing. I mean, compared to a Holland, this is almost another, I would say, a quarter size bigger, 25% more Holland, if you will, to accommodate for the extra gun and then the tail end. It just seems a lot larger. It seems like a much larger Holland style, maybe more of a Ragnar, maybe more of a miniature cruiser. It's very big. So being this large and up out of the water means that you're getting shot at easily, and it just seems easier to hit. Watch some of these battleships take a shot at a destroyer at long range and getting some nice shots and taking a chunk of damage off. And I'm going, that seems very unrealistic for we know what a destroyer is, because you're supposed to be a small target out in the distance that should not be able to be easily hittable by a battleship that far out in the distance. So let's see where this goes. And I might try a new build where I might actually try to build this thing for range, because I noticed most engagements happening past 11 to 12 kilometer mark are a lot better for destroyers. They just don't, the shots don't seem to land. Secondaries are neglected that way. So I like that. I like burning ships from a distance. And that gives you a better, more of a distraction role as a destroyer, which is one of your roles, is to distract a lot of the ships, to take shots at you, to look at you, to spot, to open fire so they reveal themselves. That's your job. Your job is to take damage, take shots at it, not take damage. That's the battleship's role. Well, you're supposed to distract the enemy, get them to shoot at you, open fire, reveal their position, spot for your team, cap and torpedo and hunt destroyers, and do everything. You pretty much, like I've said, you are the multi-role fighter of the game, and that's why everybody wants to shoot at you. Notice, everybody's shooting at me rather than anybody else, because I'm the only one that's being spotted right now. I'm the one shooting. I'm the only one that's in visible range. I'm the only one that's putting myself out there. So that's exactly why I like the destroyer role. You make a very large impact in the game. So we're going to see if we can burn down this GK, which we do. Start a fire. Look at the DPM right now. It is down to 2-second reload, which is good. I wish it was better. I wish it was like small in reloads, because then this thing would be almost borderline OP. If it had radar, oh my gosh. But you can imagine the Dalarna with a radar, but I digress. And you see, look at the damage we took right there. This destroyer doesn't absorb damage at that range as well as, say, a Holland or a Daring or something else. Look at that. Look at that. That long-range shot right there from 11.4 out actually took so much damage right there. And I was angled, and I did everything I could to mitigate the damage, but it just seems like this destroyer just happens to be a sponge for shells. It just does not juke and maneuver and dodge shells as well. I feel like they did something to it maybe to give it a little bit more maneuverability. The gun angles are great. I mean, you notice I can be up to 80 degrees away from the target and still being able to maximize 3 guns shooting. But it's still a large target, I believe, and with the right player and the person that's played this long enough, they can really get good shots out there. And I dare say there's some cheaters out there, but I know there's a lot of mods that could be out there that actually help you aim at destroyers at range, where you just put the reticle at the thing and then shoot. and miraculously your shells will eventually hit just using computing statistics and whatever to actually help the player, like artificial intelligence, AI, helping you aimbot. That I feel like is not necessary for the game. I think it's pretty bad. But anyways, yeah, the Dalarna just makes it so much easier to shoot at, and I believe that it's a hard destroyer to play. So looking back at it now, is it powerful? Is it better? I would say it's still in that average mediocre range. I still don't know what the gimmick of this thing is, other than maybe, hey, you got a different set of torpedoes, but so what? Torpedoes are torpedoes. I mean, you launch them, you shoot them, great. If you hit them, great. They're not homing or anything. They just fire in a straight line and hopefully hit something, right? You don't rush in. So obviously the short-range torpedoes are not as effective because at Dalarna, you can't really rush in like you would something else, I would say, that's smaller, more maneuverable, has smoke. This doesn't have smoke, so rushing in is a suicide mission, and for you to rush in on attacking a DD is very difficult because you're going to notice, like, look, I'm gonna charge this DD and just look on a one-on-one gunfight with only 4,000 HP. What did I say? You have to survive the game, and look, we survived the game. We're the last two DDs. I think the other side survived their last two DDs. So, it's good that, hey, the DDs survived, but look at our team, are survived because our two DDs survived. So you have to balance it out, because if the other two DDs had died, this match would have been a blowout. So look at this. We see if we can shoot the Yamagiri at range. Let's see if he gets some shells on us. I mean, look at, he's doing everything he can. He's angling away, mitigating the best we can. We have just a better DPM fire rate, and boom, splash 1 RP back to 40. That's our one kill of the game. And look, he is still firing us, and we are still taking damage after he had shot that last round. And again, I have to say it's very, very difficult. And look at this. What is this? A Stalingrad. The Stalingrad is very deadly against us because they could radar us, and their guns are super accurate. We're a big target. Its laser rail guns can really annihilate us, so we got to keep some kind of island in between us and him. And let's see. Ooh, splash 2 RP back to 4. We get a second kill of the game, and that is how we end the game right there. But let's look back at a recap. The Dalarna has 6.1 kilometer concealment, which is good. It's decent. The torpedoes are long range, decent. Not as much damage for the long range. Good damage, better damage on the shorter range. The heals are standard heals, and you have to use almost all of them. Look at that. We had to heal literally every single piece of heal that we needed, and we only have 1,500 health back. That's kind of dangerous playing the way we play, and in order to be some kind of effective roll down a Charlie cap, as the rest of our team slowly pushes down and gets back into the fight. So we still didn't cap all the points. We only capped 1, even with that landslide of a win right there. So do I recommend the Dalarna? I would say it's okay. It's average if you like the European style. I still recommend the Holland, the Smalland over this because it's just harder to hit, and they're more maneuverable, and they got better fire rates. So again, that's my take on it. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Like, subscribe button below. Dalarna, my take right there. I'll actually post up my current build right there. You can see, and I don't have a full captain on it, but this is the current build, and then I'll put a screen of the build on the second shot right here. Okay, so here's the build on the screen that I have currently for the Dalarna. Again, it wasn't a full captain's build, but this is something I would actually probably work on to make it a full captain's build right here. But basically, if I were going to build this, it would be, obviously the main module, the propulsion, protect the engine, aiming, the propulsion, concealment, and main battery fire rate. Again, if we're maximizing EPM, you can see I have Adrenaline Rush, AFT, Fearless Brawler, concealment for the best concealment, and then obviously for the survivability and so forth. And you can see the stats right there. 6.1 kilometer detection, max speed 37, not the fastest, not the most maneuverable. It's large. The heals, you got to have all the heals that you can have. And then the gun reload is you get it down to about, like you saw, 2-second reload for the Adrenaline Rush kicking in. So do I really recommend this? Again, it's a hard ship to play. You can try it out if you like the European, but I still recommend the Holland Smalland. Hope you guys are doing well. We'll talk to you guys soon, and like, subscribe, bell button below. Thanks for all the support.